All right, welcome back to this week's Blizzard podcast, brought to you by our good friends at H&R Block. This week's player profile will have the big right-handed forward, 6'3", number 16, Bud Winter. How you doing, Bud?
Doing good. How are you?
Not so bad. Got to enjoy the above-zero weather while we
it's
got
nice.
it.
It's nice.
Is this your first podcast?
It is. Yes.
All right. I got to ask, your real name can't be Bud, is it?
No, my real name's William.
William? All right. I heard some rumors that's what it was. I was going to call you William Winter and see what you said.
Yeah, not a lot of people call me William except for my mom.
There you go. She's the only one that gets away with it?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Is this your first podcast?
It is, yeah.
All righty. Well, you joined the team back in October, end of October, I think it was the 24th.
Yeah.
Who were you playing with before that? Where'd you come from?
I was with the Ice Rays, Corpus Christi Ice Rays.
Christi, down in Texas?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I guess it's probably a little bit different up here in South Dakota than it is down there.
It's quite the change.
How has it kind of been adjusting for you? You settling into Brookings pretty well?
Yeah, I like it. Obviously, the weather is a big 360, but it's good coming to the rink and being cold outside and not walking outside in shorts and a t-shirt. Kind of feels more like hockey weather here in Brookings than it did in South Texas for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to acclimate going from inside the ice rink to outside the ice rink.
Mm-hmm.
So you grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, significantly larger than here it is in Brookings. What was it kind of like growing up and playing hockey and playing sports?
Well, actually, I was born in St. Louis, and then when I was 1, my family moved to Jupiter, Florida.
Okay.
And then we moved back to St. Louis when I was 10. So I kind of started playing hockey in Florida, which wasn't too big of a hockey hotbed for there wasn't a close ice rink to me, really like an hour away. So I grew up playing roller hockey, and then after playing roller hockey for a little bit, switched over to ice, and then just fell in love with it and been playing ever since.
Yeah, I guess kind of growing up with roller hockey, like you said, you had the closest ice rink was about an hour away. Yeah. Did you play a lot of other sports growing up?
Yeah, I played football, baseball, golf, played a lot of sports growing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually when we do these interviews, you notice that the guys played a lot of sports.
Yeah.
So you grew up in a bigger town, St. Louis, and then you moved down to Florida. It took you a while, I guess, before you really got to be part of organized ice hockey. Mm-hmm. When you were playing roller hockey, did you know that this was kind of a sport that you wanted to pursue, or was it just kind of something to pass the time, and then you got into ice hockey and realized you were pretty good at it?
Growing up, I didn't really know. Like when I was younger, I didn't even really know what ice hockey was. I watched it a little bit with my dad. My dad played, but just one day, one of my neighbors was like, "Hey, you want to come play ice hockey?" And I went and just fell in love with it. And once I got a little older, I had to pick between like baseball or hockey, and I picked hockey, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it ever since.
What'd you play in baseball?
Played shortstop and catcher.
Okay, so I'm assuming you grew up in somewhat of a sports-oriented family then?
Yeah, for the most part. I have 2 older sisters who played. One of my sisters played tennis in high school, and the other played volleyball. My mom played softball. My dad played hockey, but they never really played in college.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's my goal, is to play in college. So,
that's good. So you came here kind of later in the season, end of October. You wear number 16 for us. I've asked quite a few of the guys. Is that your regular number? Is that something you got stuck with?
Actually, when I was in Corpus last year, I was number 11 because one of the older guys had number 16.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year in Corpus, I just picked 11 again because I was that last year. But actually, growing up, I was always number 16.
Is there a specific reason for that?
Not really.
Not really. Just a number that you started liking?
Yeah, started liking and just kind of stuck.
All right. Well, last week on the show, we had defenseman Alex Murray, and he's kind of on the smaller side of what your typical defenseman is. At 6'3", 220-some pounds, you look like you're obviously on the bigger side of being a forward. So growing up, were you always a forward, or?
Yeah, I was always a forward. I wasn't. I started growing. I was always not small, but I mean, in high school, freshman, sophomore year, I wasn't that big.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 5'8", 5'9", and then kind of junior, senior year of high school, I kind of started growing a lot.
So you've been in Brookings here since the end of October. Have you kind of developed any, hobbies, since you got here? Things that kill the time when you're not on the ice or not at the wellness center working out.
Um, we've been to the teed off place a few times.
Oh,
the
the indoor golf simulator.
Yeah, big golfer, so that was fun. Um, Other than that, I mean, it's so cold out. Don't really even want to go outside after you leave the rink. So other than that, not really.
Not really. Yeah, I think that golf simulator. I think that was new this fall. So
yeah, it's pretty nice. It looks brand new inside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you coming here in October, you missed our golf tournament.
Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time. Good turnout. So I've kind of heard that business is something that you've been kind of leaning towards going into, like career and education wise. Obviously, your goal is to play, college hockey at a high level and continue to play hockey as long as you possibly can. As far as education and career, I mean, do you have like a specific place you want to see yourself as you get older?
I really haven't thought about it too much. Just want to get the hockey side, and then obviously get to school, and then probably make a decision in the next couple of years of what path I really want to take. But there's nothing too specific yet that I think I want to go into.
Kind of find a good fit hockey wise, and then kind of figure it out from there. All right, I can respect that. So we've had a couple guys on here, and we've talked about nicknames that you developed, whether it be here in Brookings or when you were in Corpus Christi or was growing up playing baseball. Have you kind of had a nickname that kind of stuck with you?
Well, I mean, my name's kind of a nickname, so
Bud.
I mean, people just call me Bud. I mean, other than that, not really.
Not really.
No.
Yeah, so we had Alex on here, and we had Brady on here. A couple of the other guys. George had a few quirks that were, part of his game day. I mean, as a goalie, they're usually going to have a couple few different things than a skater.
Yeah.
But do you have anything specific, I guess, during your game day routine where you tape your sticks a certain way? Or
pretty much. I don't really do anything weird. I just try to keep the same schedule.
Universal.
Yeah, just do the same thing. Like get to the rink, roll out, get on the bike, or just tape my stick. Like there's just a certain routine that I always do. I sit up in the stands by myself and listen to music and tape my stick, but nothing too crazy.
Too out of the ordinary.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
So what's your favorite sport other than hockey, I guess, to watch?
To watch, probably golf.
Golf? Really?
Yeah. I really enjoy watching golf. I got to go to the PGA. Was in St. Louis the end of summer. Got to go watch that live. It was pretty awesome.
That's pretty neat. So from St. Louis, I'm assuming you're a Blues fan?
Yeah.
Blues fan.
Yeah.
You a Cardinals fan?
I am, yeah. I actually went to Game 7 of the 2011 World Series. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that would be a pretty
yeah, it was pretty cool.
Pretty awesome experience. So are you a Rams fan then?
I actually was a Rams fan.
I was a Rams fan.
Yeah,
you a little upset about that?
Yeah, I mean, my family had season tickets to the Rams, so we went to a lot of the games, and pretty heartbreaking for the whole town with them leaving, but it is what it is.
Well, were you still a little bit happy, at least up until the Super Bowl this year?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really follow football too much, so like, especially when they left, I kind of stopped caring, kind of all. But yeah, I mean, it's always nice to see the Rams. Like they have a little piece of home in St. Louis still, so it was nice to see them in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you said you usually sit up in the stands and kind of listen to your music and try to focus up before games. That's kind of part of your ritual. Is there anything specific that you listen to?
All over the map, from rap, hip hop, country, whatever's on
whatever comes on shuffle.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. So, is there anything, I guess, specific, other than maybe golfing, a little bit more throughout the year that you kind of miss about being back home in St. Louis?
I mean, I miss the family, my dog, but other than that, nothing really.
What kind of dog you got?
I had 2 golden retrievers. One just passed away over Christmas break, actually. But yeah, I got a 3-year-old golden retriever at home, which is a great dog.
What's his name?
Bo.
Bo? There
Yeah,
you go.
great dog.
All right, well, we're up to, I guess, that part in our podcast where I give you the opportunity to let our fans kind of know where they can follow you on, social media, that sort of thing, so they can get to know you a little bit better. If you wanted to take an opportunity to kind of let them know.
So my Twitter name is bwinter16, and my Instagram name is bud_winter.
Bud_winter. All right, be sure to follow him online. All right, one last question. I asked Brady this. No, I asked Luke this, and I was kind of surprised. What's your go-to binge watch?
Binge watch? Probably How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, that's a good one. I watch that all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when Luke was on the show. He said SpongeBob. He's like, yeah, I'll watch that for days.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm watching Friends right now, which is also
Friends?
a great one. But How I Met Your Mother was probably one of the better shows I've watched.
Oh, and there's so many episodes.
Yeah, you can't really get bored with that.
All right, well, thanks, bud.
You're welcome.
As always, H&R Block is our sponsor for the Brookings Blizzard podcast. With tax season right around the corner, if you don't want to get surprised, make sure you give our friends at H&R Block a call. If you're from Brookings or the surrounding area, you can always give Wayne Nakestead a call. Let him know you heard it here first on the Brookings Blizzard Player Podcast, and you'll receive a 25% discount on your first tax preparation. H&R Block is located here in Brookings at the University Mall, and for any additional information, you can always give them a call at 605-692-5715. Thank you.